الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده اللهم يا مفتح الأبواب ويا مسبب الأسباب ويا دليل الحائرين توكلت عليك يا رب العالمين وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. Mr. Chairman and brethren, it gives me great pleasure to share with you some knowledge on the subject of two pictures of Jesus. Two pictures of Jesus, Quranic and biblical. To my non-Muslim brothers, this might seem strange that I'm saying that there are two pictures. There is a picture of Jesus Christ in the Quran, and the Christians have a picture of Jesus Christ in the Bible. And I am going to try, in the short space of time that is given to me, to do justice to that subject, Quranic and biblical. In the Holy Quran, in chapter 3, verse 42, we are told about the enunciation and the status of Jesus Christ. It begins, chapter 3, verse 42, it begins, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ. It says, behold, the angel said, O Mary, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اسْتَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ وَاسْتَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. That God Almighty has chosen thee and purified thee, chosen thee above the women of all nations. Ya Maryam uqnuti li rabbiki wasjudi warka'i ma'ar raqi'in. So, O Mary, worship thy Lord devoutly. Prostrate thyself and bow down in prayer with those who bow down. ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهِ إِلَيْكَ. That this is part of the tidings of the things unseen which we reveal unto thee, O Apostle, by inspiration. ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهِ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يُلْقُونَ أَقْلَامَهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ يَكْفُلُ مَرْيَمَ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. It says, you were not with them, O Muhammad, when they cast lots with arrows, as to which of them should be charged with the care of Mary, nor was thou with them when they disputed the point. The background to these verses is this, that the mother of Mary, she had vowed that if God Almighty gave her a child, she would dedicate that child for temple services, feeling and believing that God Almighty will grant her a son, yearning for a son, a male issue. God heard her prayer, and a child was born, and it happened to be a female. And a female is very much unlike a male for temple services. She was disappointed, naturally. But according to her vow, as soon as the child grew up to be big enough to look after herself, she takes this child to the temple of Jerusalem, offering this child's services to the people who were serving God. And when these people saw this child, this beautiful child, everybody was clamoring to be the godfather of this child. You know, it's a Western connotation. Godfather means somebody who will look after the child as a guardian. People were clamoring, the priests were clamoring. So they said, now the way to solve this problem is everybody wants to own the child, Mary. So they started casting lots, like head or tail. You know, we do head or tail. You toss the coin. So they casted lots according to the practice of the time, and it came to the turn of Zechariah that he was the fortunate person to be the godfather to this child. And there was a dispute, as always in things of this nature. You know, when you throw the dice, and if the dice falls for 6, they say, no, you cheated. Says, we do that. This is human nature. And there was a dispute about the throwing of the dice. So God Almighty reminds Muhammad, and in other ways informing us, that how do you know all these things, O Muhammad? How did this knowledge come to you? You were not there when they cast lots with arrows, nor were you there when they disputed the point. Where did this knowledge come to you from? So God Almighty assures him and is assuring us that this is from himself. This knowledge is given to him by God. But our Christian brethren, they would say, no, this is not from God. This is Muhammad's own creation. This is his own concoction, the Quran. See, because they do not believe in this revelation. They say that the Bible is the last and final revelation of God, though it doesn't say so. The Muslim claims that the Quran is the last will and testament of God. There is a dispute, and we try to settle that dispute, with regards to the Bible. This Monday just gone by, Monday the 3rd, in Baton Rouge, a debate took place between myself and Brother Jimmy Swaggart, one of the most prominent evangelists in the Western world today. He appears on more than 700 TV commercial stations, and as he says himself in his own book, he has thousands of cable channels. He's the most prominent in Christendom today. An amazing personality, charming people, him and his wife. I met them both and I love them dearly. We had this debate, and I was given to understand it will be also aired through some of your TV channels in your city very soon through the Jimmy Swaggart ministry. But now, coming to the point about this picture of Jesus in the Quran, God says that this is from me to you. The Christian says, no, this is Muhammad's creation. So let us analyze what I have just read to you. You see, at the very first verse that I read to you, God Almighty is telling us, told through Muhammad, telling us that Mary was a woman chosen by God Almighty above the women of all nations. This is enshrined in the Quran. Mary, the mother of Jesus, a woman above the women of all nations. So the question arises, why would Muhammad say such a thing? That he is honoring the mother of his opposition, if there is such a thing. There isn't. Muhammad belongs to the same brotherhood of the prophets of God. Moses, David, Solomon, Jesus, Muhammad. It's a brotherhood of prophethood. But from the Christian point of view, Muhammad is an opposition. He's a challenger to the integrity and position of Jesus. But now this person is telling the world, Muslims as well as non-Muslims, that Mary, the mother of Jesus, she was chosen above the women of all nations. And this he's telling in the first instance to his own people. Because Muhammad, he will admit, was an Arab. He was not an Indian. I'm an Indian, of Indian extraction. I come from South Africa. We have some Sudanese brethren from Africa. We have some Malay brethren from Indonesia, Malaysia. He wasn't speaking to them. He was speaking to his own people, the Arabs. And he was telling them that not an Arab woman, not his own mother or his wife or his daughter was chosen above the women of all nations, but Mary, the mother of Jesus, a mother of his opposition. I'm asking people, the missionaries, please account for that. Why would an Arab go out of his way to provoke other Arabs, telling them that a Jewess, a woman from a nation that has been looking down upon them for 3,000 years, a nation that was looking down upon the Arabs for 3,000 years, they keep on repeating that Father Abraham had two wives, Sarah and Hajara. They say Sarah and Hagar. And they say that Sarah was his legitimate wife. But Hajara was a bondwoman, a slave woman. And her children, they disparagingly describe as the Hagarenes, the children of Hagar.